Hey everybody, this is Dan from SoCal Creature, and you're watching part 2 of our trip to Borrego Springs, California. We're going to be in search of the voracious prehistoric carnivores and the animals that would be their dinner that inhabit the ecosystem known as Galleta Meadows. Stick around and I'm going to rank the top 5 that you must see. Galleta Meadows is a vast sculpture garden that dots the landscape around the town of Borrego Springs. The 8 miles between the Spanish Padre in the north and the T-Rexes in the south has over 130 different metal sculptures. These sculptures are the brainchild of local landowner and philanthropist Dennis Avery. Avery had initially purchased this land for conservation, but in 2007 when Avery came across the metal sculpture workshop of Ricardo Breceda, the two became fast friends and hatched a plan. Over the course of the next 5 years, Avery and Breceda populated the landscape with these sculptures, which initially they thought might piss off the locals, but they went ahead and did it anyways. To their surprise, they found out that not only were the locals receptive to it, but the two of them sparked a boom in tourism to the town. So much tourism that sometimes you're going to have to wait in line for a photo op, like us here at the Scorpion. In the beginning, the theme was to use prehistoric animals which had actually roamed the valley, but as the project developed, you can see that the themes became a little more whimsical. Like the farmers who worked this valley a century ago, or these guys, which really don't seem to fit in with anything going on here. Even though the themes became less cohesive, you can see that Breceda's skill level as an artist did improve over the course of the 5 years.
Look at this guy's tongue.
The level of detail and realism improved with each successive sculpture. I marvel at how many man-hours must have been spent shredding sheet metal with tin snips to create the fur for this giant sloth. Breceda has said that these sculptures were made at his old shop in Paris, California, and then transported to the site where they were assembled. This serpent took 10 semi-trucks to transport to the area. A lot of the sculptures are a little ways from the paved road, but the dirt roads that lead to them are pretty easy to do. We didn't have any problems in a 2-wheel drive pickup. I loved this rock rosary on the Spanish Padre. Just a little detail that made him unique from the other sculptures. As the sun began to set and the tourists began to leave, we started to notice these RVs rolling in around the sculptures. By the time we returned to get some night footage, we found about a dozen RVs nestled up against the sculptures to boondock for the night. I mentioned this to my buddy Guru, and it turns out he had had a boondocking venture out here about a week before us, and he sent me these photos of him boondocking next to the Scorpion and somewhere else out on these dirt trails. We got an early start so we could get some sunrise footage as we went down to explore the sculptures on the south end of town. The definition of the feathers on these guys is amazing. I think making the effort to get out here at sunrise definitely paid off. How about you? With so much to see here, it's hard to believe that this place is free, but this place is open to the public 24/7, and I can't recall seeing a single fence or string of barbed wire blocking access to any of these sculptures. It's truly a gift meant to be enjoyed by all. With just over 130 sculptures, it's doubtful that many people who visit here would be able to see them all. But for those who are able to make it here, I'm going to break down my top 5 must-see sculptures. Coming in at number 5, I like the Scorpion. Besides its enormous size, this thing is pretty realistic looking. And it just looks like a badass, something you don't want to mess with. My number 4 pick is the giant sloth. This big lovable guy just looks like he's living his best life, dancing away his days in the desert sun. Number 3 is the saber-toothed cats. The amount of detail that went into these things is just nuts. But what's really cool about these is that when you look at it from a distance, you can see that the individual cats are part of a scene that the artist created, where the cats are hunting down a team of horses. At number 2 is the serpent. Breceda has said that the inspiration for this sculpture was Dennis Avery's wife, who was of Chinese descent and was born in the year of the dragon. That is one hell of a gift, am I right, ladies? Let me know in the comments below what you would do if your man gave you a 350-foot serpent. And finally, my personal favorite is the T-Rex fight. I know these two are just sculptures, but there's just something about them that has this kinetic energy and this volatility that keeps you on your toes. Don't let your guard down around these two if you know what's best for you. Okay everybody, thanks for watching, and if you like this video, make sure you do all the things, like hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, and be sure to check out part 1 of this video where I've got a recommendation for a cool hotel in Borrego Springs and a nearby hike.